Rollster 2014 Pro League. Let's jump into Outboxer.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left, it's the MVP player, the Zerg player. It is Sniper.
Knocked out so many fan favorites in the past. And his opponent to the bottom right is no exception of a fan favorite. It's FlaSh. They say he's defeated StarCraft 2's multiplayer. They say he's a god. He has never been nervous in his life.
He has never once felt the increased heart rate, the sweaty palms. He's always ready.
He's always ready.
He's 2-0 against Zerg so far. He's 4-2. He's played a bunch of games. Even though KT Rollster sits at 5 total matchups, he has played in 1 ace match.
That sign on the right called him God as well.
Yeah, we're not the only ones calling him God.
And, well, we'll see how this one plays out. FlaSh just adjusting his mouse pad. Looks like he can there for a second.
He even has his SCVs perfectly lined up. On the closer minerals, he has the 2, and 2 extra ones on those further ones.
Anyways, back to what we were saying earlier. Oatmeal cookies are terrible with raisins in them.
Is there any such thing as oatmeal cookies without raisins?
Yeah.
I am unaware of this. I
There's
don't think
even peanut butter oatmeal cookies, which are really good.
I've never had that, actually.
They're really good, but whenever someone is like, I've got a cookie for you, and I'm like, yes, excellent. I think, well, you know, worst case, it could be one of those terrible sugar cookies, right? Could be maybe a peanut butter cookie.
I'm glad we agree on something.
And when I say those terrible sugar cookies, I think like it's the really white cookie with like the turquoise frosting with like sprinkles that you get at Publix, and you look at it and you go, oh no.
You just ruined my day, sir.
Anyone who is above the age of 10 years old who eats those cookies, I don't know, they have some sort of special resistance to those cookies that I don't have, because I cannot. Ooh, nice catch here on that drone. What a harassment, but I just happened to notice that. So, by the way, FlaSh did drop out of Code A. He lost, taking 4th place in his group in the GSL Code A. I just recently commentated that with Calder. Check out the VODs at Golem EXP if you haven't seen it and you want to. And you should. This drones continue to be annoying, but yeah, so there's peanut butter cookies. There's the sugar cookies with frosting. There's oatmeal cookies. There's, you know, oatmeal peanut butter. There's peanut butter cookies in general. There's chocolate chip. There's double chocolate. Then there's macadamia, which is also awesome. But when it comes to oatmeal cookies with raisins, or those weird raspberry cookies, what's up with that?
Oh, you mean the ones that are like my favorite cookies of all time? The ones with the raspberry in the middle, those are like so delicious.
Here's how we conclude this. You are a weirdo, and you like strange cookies.
This is insulting, Wolf. You don't like ice cream.
I accept that's strange about myself, but you have to come to terms. You have to come to terms that you like weird cookies. You have to come to terms with this.
I guess those cookies would be weird. I mean, they were given to me by my great aunt, who used to be, I guess, around 65, 70 at the time. So maybe I grew a liking to them because I liked hanging out at her house and watching Saturday morning cartoons after playing a hockey game on Friday night.
Let me ask a follow-up question. Brownies with nuts or no nuts?
No nuts.
Okay, good.
Brownies with nuts are okay. I enjoy them, but I'd rather them without nuts. It's like adding something that doesn't really need to be there.
Yes. It's like the onions in my bean burrito. Why are they in there? It adds this weird crunchiness that I don't need.
For me, it's like the lettuce. I'd just rather it without the lettuce. It just takes up space.
And as this game goes on, we've talked, I feel, enough about terrible dessert foods that you like. So, Hellions coming out here for FlaSh. He has scouted everything that Sniper's up to with his Reaper. Did have to deal with a very annoying gas steal in his main base, limiting how much gas he could get out. Not too big of a deal with the build he's chosen, but it means that with the starport he has coming out, Banshees are going to be a little bit less likely for him to commit to. He will make one, it looks like here, and he can't afford Cloak because of that gas steal. But the reason why I think he's going to continue to go for Banshees here is I think that Sniper is probably not really expecting this as much because of the gas steal. That is really cool. It says Ghost King FlaSh.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. That nickname Ghost King, by the way, was already taken by a certain missing pro gamer beyond time.
We're still on the beyond. It is not concluded. It
Where
is
is the
faltering. It's a fish out of water. It's trying to survive ever so much, but having some trouble.
Look at these mind games, by the way. FlaSh starts a Banshee, which has now been scouted, but Sniper didn't see Cloak, which is what he expected because he knew that, okay, you lost your second gas to my drone. I've denied your mining, so you're probably not going to be able to get Cloak out early. Then I even scout with an Overlord so that you're not researching Cloaks, you're not mining gaming that way. And then as soon as the Overlord dies, FlaSh starts Cloak. And he's basically just trying to surprise his opponent in every way possible with that. With the Spore Crawlers already up for Sniper, though, all he really has to do is get an Overseer as soon as he sees this is coming. And make sure that he gets Queens near that. And Mech is coming.
Mech.
That was...
There's 2 armories coming out.
I'm going to have to cue that to you every time we see a player add 2 armories from now on.
The continuous Hellion production, as well as those 2 army, leads us to believe this is going to be mech play. He's going to be able to get those vehicles as well as those air upgrades.
I mean, generally speaking, if you ever go Banshees in this matchup, you're leading yourself down this path, especially if you continue Hellion production. And one of the other tells of this before you add the armories is that he did not produce any Marines for quite some time. Double factories added now, as he can afford them, and he's cleared up all the Overlord scouts. Double Banshee can actually one-shot a drone, and he's actually doing this right away. 2 drones down already. Cloak is still not shown, and Lair, Brendan, Lair is just now being started. We will not have any Overseers, so if he can get away from the Spore Caller range, he's going to be able to take these units out. He gets a Queen, and oh no. He goes for the Lair here, interestingly enough.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a miss micro, but I don't know. These Queens are going to come over here and deny it for now, but like you said, no Overseers for a while, but he's able to ward them off for now. This 2 Cloak Banshee's going to go back to their homes.
If he had, hold that thought, there's no tight wall here since he moved the commands here. He needs to raise those depots, and he does, in fact. Now he just needs to make sure his SPs don't take too many losses. He's got the Hellions back at home, and at this moment in time, this is Sniper's realization, of course, 100% that his opponent is going mech. He's already predicted this. Gets Overlord speed. There's already the Roach upgrades coming out, which is, of course, what a Zerg player wants to have early on against mech, is those Roaches. And with a late layer like this, it's not like he can try to go surprise mutas. Starts the Infestation Pit, likely for Swarm Hosts here. And we're probably going to have a longer game on our hands. We've seen so much mech in Code A in this matchup. Bravo in particular versus Leenock, a series I would recommend to go back and watch if you want to learn how to not only play mech well, but also how to play against mech. So watch Bravo versus Leenock, both best of 3s from that group. Yep. Recommended VOD right now for Wolf. And he's just trying to deny mining over here at this mineral patch, plus the gas. This is really annoying without Mutalisk. Oh, no cancel on that extractor. Without Mutalisk, it's so hard.
That 1 Banshee almost gets knocked down, but continue.
Yeah, I was just going to say, without Mutalisk, it's so hard to defend because Queens can only do so much if you don't have Overseers following the Banshees around, which is a big investment in itself. And if you have a Spore Crawl, if the Banshee finds a sweet spot, then you can just poke away. Especially if there's like an extractor on the edge, that's not really going to be protected by Spore Crawlers. So you either force more Spore Crawlers or you kill drones, and building a Spore Crawler is paying money to lose a drone. Can be useful later on, of course, but you have to think about it that way if you're a Zerg player because your worker count is everything. And look at the supplies right now. FlaSh takes a lead. He has 3 bases secure, and the cost efficiency of those Swarm Hosts and those Locusts is really going to have to be realized here, or Sniper is going to find himself in a nasty place here. No 4th base just yet. He started it.
Yeah, he's just getting that 4th base up right now. Looks like he's adding another hatch somewhere on the map. Looks like a macro hatch in the main. He's going to send these Roaches around over here, try to scout what he can scout. Those Swarm Hosts continuing to come out. FlaSh, like you said before, just getting his supply up as much as possible, continuing to make those mech units and upgrade them, getting the 2-2 right now at 2 of his armories.
Not cutting any corners either, but he does not know that Swarm Hosts are what he's up against. And that's part of the reason why he makes these initial Thors, and that's also the reason why he's making so many missile turrets right now. Sensor tower going up as well, so that any Roach run-bys or Mutalisk flybys that come to his base will be seen very early and can be responded to. Triple Banshee is a scary thing. Sees these Swarmos. He could scan and kill them if they burrow.
Oh my
goes
god,
for the
Nick
chase.
Cloak as well. But he does have this Overseer in decent position, but he has
Only
these 3
2 queens.
Banshees. Not enough anti-air here.
This is really, really bad. He has to transfuse. He needs more queens over here ASAP. And he starts to target the queen with the most energy. It does fall. 1 Banshee in return, though. And this is not a good trade for FlaSh. He can't stick around, but he wants to keep those Banshees alive. Getting 1 Overseer is pretty nice for him. And he's now just going to go harass this new 4th base that, again, does not have any infrastructure set up. No Spore Crawlers. The first one only on the way just now. FlaSh is dominating this game left and right, and the Swarmos are no longer a surprise to him. And so that's good for him to know. He's going to want to have more Hellbats at the front to tank, and also he knows that he doesn't need to make any more Thors. He wants to have as many Siege Tanks as possible, because Siege Tanks will lay waste to Locust in no time flat. Here we go! He's actually already engaging on top of these Swarmos. Sniper needs to get out of here. 1 Swarmos does fall to Locust. Tanked there by those Hellions, who actually don't have Blue Flame just yet, but FlaSh has an army enough, because of how he started here, how ahead he got, to actually move out before Max against Swarm Host. This has never happened, to my knowledge, before in a televised match.
I mean, he has a bunch of these Hellbats in the front as well to deal with this, as well as tanks in the back. But these 2 Banshees, they can do so much damage to those Swarmos if they get on top of them, especially with the Cloak. If Sniper's not prepared, he's got to be prepared for this. So far, not looking his best with Micro, as far as Micro's involved.
Yeah, man.
With those Swarm hosts.
FlaSh taking a 30 supply lead here, and the Mutalisk transition we may see from Sniper is just so late. He doesn't have the bank he wants, and he's going to lose. I mean, he lost the hatchery. He loses his gas income in his 4th, and FlaSh walks away, realizing I don't have to commit to attacking this anymore. He's killed so many Harvesters, and like you said, the Banshees are a big threat to the Swarmos. So the Queens try to come forward, then the Siege Tanks lay waste to the Queens. This is a great position. FlaSh takes a 60 supply lead. Hive is on the way for Sniper. He's got no bank, though. Nothing.
He doesn't have anything. I didn't see him make those mutas. If he did,
He just started roaches. He's not making any mutas. It looks like he's just prepared for a possibility of a transition. He started the Spire before he realized FlaSh was just going to flash his 4th base.
Yeah, FlaSh in that 4th base, making a 4th base of his own. Sieging up these Siege Tanks over here as well, and not going to allow Sniper to take that 4th base either.
FlaSh can afford it. I'd really like to see Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched right now. And this Roach Force, with all the Siege Tanks here, plus the Banshee support, and the Hellbats to tank, not happening.
There's 1 Queen there to deal with those 2 Banshees. That hatch has to be canceled. There's not going to be a 4th there.
Nope. 4th to the top is being remade, but FlaSh is just controlling this map. 2 things I really want to see from him. I mean, because he's so ahead, right? He's not making any mistakes. I'm not trying to criticize his play in any way. I never would. But 2 things he could have that would make his life easier. 1 is a Raven, which would allow him to clear up this creep and also help spot for the Swarm Host. And the second one is the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade, which would help his Hellions go through any of these range units on the ground. Not so much the armored Locust, but it'd help him against Larva and possible Zerlings later. And I mean, I guess it is, looking back at the composition he's up against, he doesn't really need it. And he's using his gas and everything else, like not missing a beat on his 3-3 upgrades.
The second those 2-2 finish, he is going right into the 3-3, making more and more command centers over here. Going to get that mule production going. So many factories in his main base as well.
The macro of FlaSh is insane. No minerals unspent, no gas unspent. Switching into 3 starports right now because he knows his opponent might be going into an air transition. That's the one way he could get behind, is if suddenly Sniper takes control of the air and then goes into Broodlord, so he's not going to allow that. 4 starports. He could go battle cruisers. Oh, the drones! The drones! They will escape for now. A few of them meeting their end, but FlaSh has dominated this map. Mech is slow, FlaSh says no. Mech is immobile, FlaSh says no.
FlaSh does not listen to your critique. He does whatever he wants. Taking down the 4th base again. There's no 4th base for Sniper right now. FlaSh's 4th base is very, very comfortably.
He kills the rocks. That means that the Zerg player Sniper cannot remake that base with a drone unless he either puts it in a dropship, which he hasn't researched, to drop it in there, or kills the rocks, which are protected by about 12 siege tanks or so. And the bank of Sniper is never where he wants it to be. He's trying to transition to Broodlords right now with the Greater Spire completed, but he's on 3 base against soon-to-be 5 base. And FlaSh is okay with losing some of these siege tanks right now because he knows that the air transition is on. He does not want to get these Vikings fumbled, though. That's really important to him.
Yeah, he's got to make sure he keeps those Vikings back. Does not want to get them fungled. He even starts at 5th base. That's how confident he is right now. He wants to go 5v3 in terms of bases against his Zerg. Greater Spire is about 5/8 done. FlaSh, he's making 4 Banshees at a time. That's what he says.
He saw the Swarm hosts there, and he doesn't know. I mean, he saw some Corruptors, but he killed a lot of them. that Siege Tank said no to the hatchery. But for him, he's like not sure. He's like, I killed a lot of your Corruptors. I think you're going to go back into Swarm hosts maybe, or at least try to use them to resecure your bases. So going into Banshee is a great choice for him because he controls the air. 19 Vikings. Knows his opponent on 3 bases. Cannot outproduce his 19 Vikings. Look at the worker count. 56 to 72.
Plus
Sniper
8 mules.
Yeah, Sniper is not in a good place right now, to put it lightly. Raven's coming out here for point defense drone. More Vikings, because 19 is not enough.
Sniper doing whatever he possibly can to come and try to pick off 1 tank at a time, even bringing a queen in there.
FlaSh is like, how ahead he is in this game cannot even be described in our language.
And in just that, you described it.
He's reached the outskirts of the universe of being ahead.
Well, he's reaching the outskirts of this base right now, taking that island expansion.
Nobody has taken an island expansion on this map before. And FlaSh is going to do it with a Banshee. Because why not?
Well, he's
Fusion
so far
Core.
ahead.
Like, FlaSh already finished 3 races in 3 countries in the time that Sniper is in this race. That's how ahead he is. He's already traveled across the international date line. That base is not getting remade without an Overseer Sniper, I'm afraid to tell you.
He's trying to burrow that Spore Crawler over there. That's basically all he can do. He's even flying another command center over to the left bottom.
Yep. He's going to have both
Expansion
island bases.
well.
He has Banshees everywhere to spot ground forces. He's going to kill this Spore Crawler with a 3/3 Banshee. And then try to kill the hatchery. He's going to kill the extractor because he knows that that's going to limit gas mining. There's no Overseer over here, Sniper. Sniper can barely afford Overseers right now. FlaSh just sacked a bunch of his SCVs, which, if it were even possible, would put him further ahead. More Ravens. Building plating for his structures. 3 more CCs. He may have broken 20 on CCs at this point. I think we're getting close.
Yeah, it is about that time.
Both island expansions are his. And here we go. Saddest Broodlords ever. A few Corruptors to help out. They do not want to. They don't want to face that Viking fleet though. 3/3 upgrades.
These 3/3 Vikings, there are so many of them. They can just go in there, drop the point defense drones, destroy anything that's in the air right now.
Seeker missiles, you name it. High-sec auto tracking being researched right now to further improve not only missile turrets but seeker missiles, auto turrets, planetaries. FlaSh has both island expansions. He has control over the left side of the map. Sniper, for the very first time in what seems like 20 minutes, is starting to build a bank. But here we go. Ravens at the front. 4 seeker missiles launched. None will connect. Good micro by Sniper. 3 more starports. FlaSh is saying, well, I've done all a Terran could do here. Let's Protoss this. I will warp in whatever I need. I'm going to have so much production that I can make 6 BCs instantly if you kill my army, which, by the way, won't ever happen. But in case you cheat, I'll be ready.
He's preparing himself for the super late game, for when they do eventually trade armies. He's going to have so many of these production buildings to just continue making whatever he wants, because he's going to start getting that huge bank up.
What he wants to do, I think, is get 2 drop ships and put 6 SCVs in each and start mining 4 gases from the island expansions. And that's all else he could do right now. He's not going to be able to secure the 9 o'clock expansion. The expansion that's over to the bottom left of his top right island base that Sniper just started is something he might be able to harass with some of his Banshees. 2 battlecruisers on the way. How can Sniper win this game? How can he win this game?
It's going to be so incredibly hard. He was on 3 bases for an incredible amount of time, while FlaSh was basically on 4 full mining bases while getting those 2 island maps. He was even trying to get that 5th one over at that base he said he couldn't take. Wasn't quite able to take it. Here he is.
Some maps don't even have as many bases as FlaSh has bases in this game. FlaSh will kill this hatchery before his 4 Siege tanks are killed by broodlings, drones, infested Terrans, and fungal growths. A bit too late. The only way that Sniper can come back in this game is a good engagement. Secret missiles galore here on some of these swarm hosts. He wants to get fungals on this Viking fleet. That might be the way. That might be how he does this. More secret missiles going down. He's just trading blow for blow here against this Zerg army, forcing him to use his bank to rebuild something else. He's no longer worried about that army. He's kind of polarizing Sniper's composition a little bit here by eliminating those important ground units.
Look at that, moving in with the Corruptor, but that point defense drone saying no. It's so efficient to trade your energy for all those swarm hosts. Force your opponent to use that bank. That's what you can do with all of these Ravens.
If you look at the bank to the top right, you would think it's the opposite is supposed to be the case. The Zerg players ready to remax with 3,000, 3,000, but we see the opposite. Excellent concave here by FlaSh, not taking any chances with his composition. Secret missile on every single infestor. FlaSh says no, gets fungled on only, it looks like 6 Vikings. The rest of his Vikings going strong. Secret missile, boom, boom, every single infestor going down. The Corruptor count staying healthy here, but he's got points of defense drones. He's got battle cruisers to assist him. Instantly remaxing with 3 Vikings in the battle cruiser, 5 Ravens. Any unit he loses, he replaces as fast as he can. Secret missiles going on these Corruptors, the battle cruisers at the front. 3-3 upgrades, and this is the end of Sniper. In game number 1, we're watching it die here in flashy fireworks.
Even using the Banshees on that 4th. GG!
GG indeed, FlaSh!
FlaSh smashing down Sniper in this first game. That was not even close, I have to say. FlaSh just... that was crazy, man.
FlaSh is the Grand Master. You put a sphere of players of how confident they are and how much ahead they can get in a game or mistakes. You take that and you it's almost like you take a Venn diagram or a sphere. So like real numbers, imaginary numbers, you know, you say math,